We support them financially, not the government, not the corporations. IWT and The Real News are beholden to nobody else but us, we the people.
The political deadlock in Zimbabwe shows no sign of being resolved. On September 15th, political rivals, President Robert Mugabe of the ZANU-PF party, signed an agreement approving the formation of a government of national unity with his political rival Morgan Tsvangirai of the Movement for Democratic Change, or MDC. But the formation of the new government has been delayed by bickering over the allocation of key ministries. I spoke to Professor Adam Habib, a political analyst based in Johannesburg.
I think we're in a bit of a dilemma in Zimbabwe. There's no question in my mind that Robert Mugabe is a big thug. There's no question in my mind that the real issue is how to transcend and move to a post-Mugabe scenario. And the big dilemma is that the MDC doesn't have sufficient power to effect that change, and neither does ZANU-PF have sufficient power to be able to break the impasse that they're in. They're unlikely to generate sufficient resources from the international community. They're unlikely to create the legitimacy they need in the outside world without the MDC participating in a government of national unity. So that's where the dilemma is, and that's why they've both been forced to talk to each other. They don't like each other, but they've been forced to talk to each other. It was hoped that the impasse that had emerged, particularly around the Home Affairs post, would be facilitated by the Southern African Development Community structures. Clearly that hasn't happened. The MDC has responded quite negatively to that outcome. And the big dilemma now remains is, where do we go from here? I think we're probably at the lowest point since the last 2 months when the possibility of negotiations emerged. And so I don't think there is a solution, frankly, other than a government of national unity. I don't think the MDC has enough power to overthrow ZANU-PF. I don't think ZANU-PF has enough legitimacy to be able to draw down the international resources that it requires to start economic reconstruction. And so I think we're going to go to this very, very difficult period where, if you like, the new is not yet born, but the old is unwilling to die. And that's the tragedy of where we are. What it requires is some kind of aggressive engagement from the outside to force a breakthrough that is more legitimate. That's what I think the Southern African Development Community people need to recognize, because if they don't resolve Zimbabwe, then Southern Africa doesn't get resolved, and that's the big dilemma we all confront.
There are times when reality just asserts itself, in spite of the haze created by television news and entertainment. Sometimes crisis rips a tear in the fabric of myth and propaganda. Now a profound economic crisis has ripped asunder the American dream itself. Millions of people losing jobs and homes. They lack proper health care and any real sense of security. Since 2001, workers' wages have fallen or remained stagnant, even though worker productivity has risen almost 33%. By 2006, the top 1% of households were receiving 23% of all pre-tax income, more than double what it was in the 1970s. It's the greatest concentration of income since 1928. As unemployment rises, we need to know why this crisis is happening and what we can do to defend ourselves. Why are wages so low? Why is the society so laden with debt? Is it in ordinary Americans' interest to have $1 trillion military budget to project power across the globe? Corporate television news won't ask these questions, let alone try to find answers. Only a truly independent news network can tackle these questions with courage and with ordinary people's interests in mind. We need a news network that's independent of corporations, governments, and political parties. We need the real news. But there won't be a real news network unless we raise substantial funds right away. The current financial crisis has hit our funding hard. Together, we do have the power to turn it around. There are already hundreds of thousands of people watching the real news every month. If everyone pitches in, we can build an internet and cable television network that will change the face of media forever. You can organize house parties, talk to friends at school and at work, send email blasts and spread the word. Distribute this video to everyone you know. Pick up the phone and call a few friends and suggest they visit therealnews.com. Invest just 10 minutes a day to ask friends and colleagues to join the campaign to create a truly independent source of internet and television news. Together, we can build this network. Just 50,000 people at $10 a month gets us to our first level of sustainability. You can help us reach this goal, and when we do, we'll move to television in millions of homes across North America. Help us reach an audience in the millions. Please contribute generously. Spread the word. Let's make the Real News television network a reality.
Your tax-deductible donation makes it possible. Please contribute at therealnews.com.